Pay yourself first. How many people actually do that? What does that mean? Doesn't make any sense, right? Of course I get paid first. Money comes into my bank account and I get paid first. Or does it? My name is Kyle Naughton and I'm not your average finance guy. And this little trick will help a lot of people because once we get established and we get a house or a rent and we get into everyday adult life and we're not kids anymore, we got so many bills that will come and just pummel you. So your paycheck or however your dividend check, checks, however it is that you're making money comes in. But what do you do with it first? You look and you pay bills. You pay the insurance, you pay taxes, you pay your mortgage, you pay utilities, car, gas, everything that you have in your life comes out. And then most of us, if there's anything left at the end of the month, oh, look there. All right, I made some money this month. Maybe I'll put that into my savings account. And next month, you kind of ran out a month. So hopefully you're in that position that you actually have something to pull against. But most people don't. At the end of the month, they're out of money. They're out of money way before the end of the month. So then they go dip into that savings. And before you know it, savings is now gone too. And it's month after month after month. It gets zing that credit card. Let it go. I'll worry about it next month, right? Then you're paying 25 to 30+% interest on that money, buying shit you don't even care. You don't even care about. You don't even know you have a month later. And now you're paying interest on stuff you don't care about, forgot you got, and it's costing you 1.3 times whatever you thought you paid for it. So if you can pay yourself first, whenever that paycheck comes in, whenever the rent check comes in, whenever the dividend check comes in, the bonus check, I don't care what it is, pick a percentage of it or a dollar amount, however you want to do it. But ideally, a good rule of thumb is at least 10%. If you can take 10% of your take-home pay, because guess what? You'll never pay yourself first because Uncle Sam's going to dip his hand in there and pull it out of your paycheck first. So, but after that, whatever your take-home pay is, ideally, it's good if you can, if you're not doing anything at this point, take 10%. So somebody gives you $100, take 10. Somebody gives you 1,000, take 100 and put that somewhere else. Okay. I am against savings accounts because they really don't pay you anything. But if you're not doing anything at all, go ahead and start there. Open up a separate savings account. If you've only got checking, if you get direct deposit that only go in your checking account, open up a savings account, take 10% and put it in that savings account. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. You cannot use it. That is meant for your wealth building journey. Okay. Or if you need to get out of debt, maybe you're a different story. Shoot me a call and we'll talk about that too. But maybe sometimes you got to get out of debt. I talk about the velocity banking a lot. Pay Down Debt Solutions is a great channel on here. Check those guys out. They are 100% on your side in your favor. Check them out. So, but after you've kind of gotten out of debt, or if you're looking to grow your wealth, pay yourself first 10% and get that out of sight, out of mind. And what are normally most of us, what we do as we go through life and we continue to make a little bit more money, we get some bonuses here and there, we get a raise here and there, their cost of living raises and bonuses, things like that. But if you can just take 10% of that number and tuck it somewhere else. Now, I'm not talking about your 401k. Hopefully you're already getting that match, the match, if they're matching it. Hopefully you're maxing that out at least. And after that, let's tuck this away in a little bit of a wealth account. And we're going to use this to get wealthy. It's exactly what it sounds like. So you take that, at least 10%, hopefully more, tuck it away, can't see it. From there, you pay the rest of your bills out of what's left, okay? Hopefully you've got some room for some other things that are important to you, but that's up to you. You can check out my website if you want. I got some budgeting tools on there to kind of help line everything out and some good tools on there. So I hope that helped. But if you just take that first 10% and allocate that towards your wealth building journey, and the earlier you start, the faster this will come to fruition. And no matter where you're at, you're going to let this money grow and compound. Even if it's just in a savings account making 0.0%, you're actually probably losing money because of inflation on that one. But if you follow me, there's way better ways than a savings account. So, all right, let's take that 10%. Let's tuck that away. Everything else, we pay from the rest of your 90%. You learn to live on that 90%. I'm talking about this with my kids right now. And if you've got young kids, and give them an allowance. And what I like to do, I'm not like, here, you get $20 a week just for being my kid. No, make them do things, and you pay them per job, not per time. If I'm paying someone to do a job at one of my rental properties, I want to know how much the job costs. How much is it going to cost to re-roof my house? Not how many hours do you think it's going to take you, or I'm going to pay you whatever per hour. No, then you're just going to work slower and I got to pay you more money. It doesn't make any sense. Same thing with your kids. Don't train them to be an hourly employee. Train them to get a job done, get it done efficiently, fast, and work hard. And you'll see the harder you work, then you can go on to the next job and you make more money, and just keep doing that. Teach them that mindset, right? Then when your kids make that money, if they're young enough, they need money for, toys, candy, whatever. Now, if you just let them blow 100% of their money, they're going to end up just like you. Okay. If you dug yourself into this big hole because you just start spending all your money every time you got money coming in, let's really think about this. So with you and with your kids, if you pay them to mow the lawn, if it's paying $20 to mow the lawn, say, hey, you used to didn't have this money, and I know you worked hard for it. It's hot out there, but what if you took 10 and put it in this jar over here, and you put 10 over here, and you can do whatever you want with this one, okay? But just start saving. Put it in a jar, and every time you mow, you can see you drop another $10 bill on this one, and you go blow this one on candy or whatever it is that you like to blow your money on. And after a while, you'll see that you've got a bunch of $10 bills. We actually had a block party a couple years back, and there was an older gal that I was talking with, and they had someone, a neighbor boy, that would come and mow their lawn and shovel their driveway. And he was doing it just to be nice, out of the goodness of his heart. And what he did was he'd mow it, he'd shovel, and he refused payment. So in refusing payment, what they did is they put that $20 bill in a jar every time he did it. And then his college graduation, they handed him the jar with literally thousands of dollars in it. And he was just floored, like, whoa, oh my gosh. And she's like, this isn't really even a present. This is what you already earned. And they probably threw another $100 in there or whatever, and they gave him a lot of money. So that's one way. That's kind of a forced savings. But if you just continually get your kids started on this idea too, if it's 10%, if it's 50%, the higher the better, the richer you're going to get, but the more money that you're going to save, and we can start this process of wealth building. Okay. And I think instead of a savings account, you need a little bit of seed money, but once you get some seed money, maybe it is a savings account, then really look into the infinite banking concept. As long as you can keep this constant cash flow coming in for at least 10 years, you're going to be so much better off with this account. This account grows and grows and grows, kind of like the equity in your house. Your house usually it's worth more and more and more. Yes, because of inflation, supply, demand, whatever it is. But normally our houses continue to grow in value. And just like that, the infinite banking concept also continues to grow in value, but it's not market driven. It's a contractual guarantee that the insurance company has a floor of, I think it's like 4% that they have to pay you no matter what. And then on top of that, if the company that you're working with makes dividends, then they pay you dividends on top of that. But you can't work with just any company. It has to be a mutually owned whole life insurance company. And we work with ones that have been around. There's just a small handful that we work with. They've been around for over 150, 60, even 70, I think 177 years. So they've been around for a while. They pay dividends every year through world wars, Great Depressions, Great Recessions, 9/11, you name it. They have paid dividends every year on that stuff. So with that, you can take what I do is I take that 10% that your seed money and you're starting at, then you plunk that into the infinite banking concept, and you keep your 10% always goes into that infinite banking concept, and that will continue to grow. And then we'll talk about maybe some higher level strategies where you can borrow against that. So say you've got $100,000 that you've built up over time of this policy available to you. You could take $100,000 and you could maybe take that $100,000, and if it was in a savings account, you could take it out and you put it down payment and that's gone, right? But in an infinite banking concept, you borrow against it. You borrow against that $100,000, and actually you get a check for $100,000, and you can go buy an investment property. Whatever you do with that $100,000 now is going to spit off cash flow. If you buy an investment property or whatever your investment is, some kind of an asset that creates cash flow and pays you back. Now the money that they pay you back, you then put back into the infinite banking concept to repay that loan. And Meanwhile, the whole thing just keeps growing. Even when you took that loan out against it, this is the miracle of the infinite banking concept, is the money is always there. You never actually take the money out. You can, yes, you borrow against it at a very favorable rate, and that money continues to grow and compound even while you're using the money over here for something else. And the money that you use over here for something else, that asset hopefully will continue to compound and grow and spit off more cash flow that you can repay this loan. Once the loan is repaid on your infinite banking concept, you go do it again. You buy another asset. And this might, at first, it's going to take 5-10 years maybe to pay this back. And that's cool. That's what it's all about. It's getting off the ground. There's a lot of energy to get this thing going. But once it's going, oh my God, it's so easy, because now you've got 6, 7, 8, however many assets you've got over here paying you cash flow. And now cash flow, the first one was hard because you only got one thing over here spitting off cash flow to be able to pay your loan back. Well, now once you get another one, now you got 2. Now it's double the cash flow. Once you got 10, it's 10x the cash flow coming back in. This thing is paid off super quick. And then now I'm buying more, and the whole thing just goes faster and faster. It literally is a snowball racing down a mountain. Okay. I'm getting a little off topic here, but my theme for this video was to pay yourself first and start putting something away. Don't touch it. You don't need to blow all your money. You'd be surprised at the bullshit you buy anyway. Let's just stay off it a little bit and start with your wealth account at least 10% for every dollar that comes into your life. You will be set up. I guarantee it. All right. I hope this helps. Go ahead, text Kyle at 855-529-1388 if you want to learn more about any of these topics that I'm talking about. Good luck, everybody.